Alright, for this last event, it's a little bit of a monster. So basically what we did is broke it up into kind of each person, and then we kind of gave each person something to think about. So we're just going to kind of work left to right as we go down. So for the first person, the 1K row and then the burpee bar muscle up. From a mobility perspective, I'm not really thinking about much here. What I do think is important is the mechanical setup. So knowing that when we go into that recovery position, it's a nice tall spine, active shoulders, driving through the heels and then exploding to finish that row, and not getting into this soft, rounded position, shoulders internally rotated as you come in. And even though it's called the recovery position, we're not soft, we're active the whole time. So that's more of a, just kind of a mechanical side note than real mobility stuff. But extremely important for your efficiency and for your ability to put some power into the rope. So you've got to keep active shoulders, drive through the heels, and then finish that with the pull. Alright, so for the second person, we got 40 toes to bar, 20 thrusters. I'm actually going to give you a kind of a new piece for the T-spine. We did the kettlebell over the roller a couple of times, and I just want to give you kind of something new to work with. So we're going to use a box. I'm going to show you a couple different versions. You can even get a buddy to help you with this. Be easy with it, but you can get some help here getting a little push into the back. So a couple versions. Number one is going to be just single arm, elbow straight, rib cage pull. So if I go here into this movement, I get a big breath, and then exhale into that. So when I do that, I really open up the shoulder girdle, I get a little T-spine extension. The double version is going to be two hands, it's a little more aggressive. Make sure you're okay with the single arm first. That looks like so. Right there, so nice tight belly dropping down. Once I get here, my hips are on the floor, I can get a buddy to help me push in the back just a little bit there and drive that sternum a little more forward. So go with whichever one's more appropriate for you. That second one is pretty aggressive. For the third person, we got 30 pistols and then 30 deadlift high pulls. So basically what I'm looking at here is the pistol. So we need some ankle range. Alright, so we're just going to use the kettlebell for this. And we did this move for one of the earlier events. I like it a lot, so we're going to use it again. Flat foot, vertical shin. We're going to go bell on the low quad. I'm going to get my opposite hand on that low tibia, and I'm going to internally rotate as I go into dorsiflexion or knee forward. Alright, so I rotate in as I come forward, and I rotate out as I come back. While I'm doing that, I need to keep a nice stable foot. That heel cannot come up, and I need to work into that back and forth. So this is an active movement. I'm not just going to go hang out. I need to work back and forth on that. So let's get 2 minutes per foot. For the third one, more of a mechanical setup again. So for the burpee, we're looking at basically a couple things. Number one, worming versus push-up. So the push-up will kill you in this particular setup. So we need to get a good extension through the spine. So I'm here, I'm going to elbows in, good external rotation of the shoulder, chest is coming up, pop the hips, and stand up and finish that off. Rather than coming down, getting a push-up, and then trying to get under. So it's really going to smoke you through the middle. So we need to go a little extension first, pop the hips, which brings us to the second point, and that is landing on the heels and not the toes. I don't even want to demo that. So I'll show you the way to do it correctly. So elbows in, warm up, pop the hips, flat foot landing, and then I'll keep your knees not so mad at you on Monday.